Thadd, I was told that Ken Knapsack would be here. But
I only came because I assumed he would be.
Right? And yeah. I heard you guys were hanging out all weekend
we were.
in New York doing all your Schmodown stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, living the dream and becoming best friends without me, which is, the last time I feel like we were all in New York together. Doing fun stuff.
I know.
Did you get any pizza?
I didn't.
Didn't?
No pizza. No, I'm not like I have to get a slice.
Right.
Like the Michael Scott, like I did see an airport pizza shop that said like "Welcome to New York," and it made me laugh. Yeah. I don't need Sbarro.
Okay. Well, I missed the New York trip. It's not like I'm involved in the Schmodown anymore. Really, I just want the invite. That's all. Just to hang out with my buddies. That's all. Come on.
That's fair. You can hang out with me now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I figured the only person that I text about Jeopardy stuff is one Thaddeus Broughton Wiliams. Okay.
Yep.
And sometimes I'll text our buddy Brendan, but mostly I just text you about it.
Yeah,
right?
That's fair.
And I got a few texts from people being like, "Can you believe he lost?" If you haven't watched Jeopardy,
spoiler alerts.
If you haven't watched Jeopardy from last night, 39-day streak of Matt Amodio has come to an end.
Yep.
Okay. And I texted that immediately. Did you watch? And he said, I almost got spoiled by the Jeopardy Twitter, but you got spoiled.
I got spoiled a couple of news websites the moment it aired on the East Coast.
Okay.
So at like 4:40, I'm refreshing some news stuff, and I see one headline was like, Matt Amodio's streak comes to a spoiler. Like,
yeah. You're not going to write it if it doesn't.
Comes to a... Like
victorious
crest.
Yeah.
What word are you putting in spoiler?
Right.
So I was like, I flipped off the computer screen.
Dude, as soon as
anger.
I saw spoiler,
I was like, really?
And then I heard, and then it went, and it's like, well, this final Jeopardy. I was like,
mute.
And I got to Amanda. I was like, Amanda, I think it's a huge episode. Before we get into all of that, I want to tell everybody, welcome to the Positivity Report. We're here every single weekday, Monday through Friday.
It's a lot of positivity.
We're trying that. We're trying to just put those positive vibes out into the world.
Push and believe.
Because your hair is one of the most positive things I'll see all day. I mean,
I got it cut
coiffed
in New York.
Ooh, did you? You don't get a slice of pie.
I went to a little shop in Brooklyn, across the street from my hotel.
Whoa.
Yeah, because I walked around that morning and it was a little warm.
Okay.
And I was dying. And I was like, this is too much. This is too much. Made a reservation, walked in. It was delightful.
I mean,
got
that perfectly coiffed blonde of yours is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of what else is fantastic, that's right. Futility, the actual game of living.
It's going to happen. They're going to make this.
Yes.
This is
not
make a one of a kind anymore.
We're going to hit those stretch goals. Yesterday we went over 33,000, but overnight apparently people got second idea and we went back down below 33,000.
I mean, you're basically there. Round up.
Yes, we're there.
You're at 33.
Maybe some people pulled their backings. I don't know exactly what happened, and I'm guessing that's what happened. But we appreciate everybody that has helped us get to this point.
I've never actually seen the box art.
Yeah,
in person.
This is the first prototype. The second prototype, we are.
You're gonna have all the faces
on the back.
On the back.
Yes.
So like here.
Yeah.
Is gonna be face.
Boom.
Just lots of faces, and then on the front is just butts. Then right.
Correct. Just butts.
Like, faces on the front, butts on the back. Yeah.
And I started writing and redoing a lot of the
mullet.
It is. It's a party in the front, party in the back, business up front.
Yeah.
The box is going to be a little smaller when it gets shipped to you, and working with the manufacturer as far as like getting certain things done is what it looks like.
Nice.
But yes, hit it.
There's a lot of weight.
I know. It's all those cards.
It's gonna be a heavy thing to ship.
I know.
There's a lot of weight in that box.
It costs a dangum much.
Yeah. But that's really cool. I'm so happy you guys hit your goal. I knew you would, but like you hit it with what? Like you still have like 20 days left.
We have 17 days. It goes
again.
To 16
I'm rounding up again.
Yeah.
Sorry, 17 days.
A little over 2 weeks. We're gonna do another big stream of Palooza on Wednesday, October till the 27th, which is the final day of the weigh-in of the weight loss challenge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who do we have money on?
Well, it's not Ken, but Ken has lost 0.8 pounds in 2 months. But in Ken's defense, he'd lost a lot of weight before the weight loss challenge, and he didn't really want to be part of it. I kind of peer pressured him into it.
Okay, well, that's fair.
GPACharity and I have been kind of going head-to-head, and I feel like GPACharity might have taken over. I mean, he took over the last weigh-in.
This last week I haven't been doing anything, so it's probably you.
I haven't been doing anything.
Yeah.
We did have like a little bit of chicken bakes to celebrate last Friday here in the show.
Yeah, that's not going to help your.
No.
I mean,
I had half of it. I gave the other half to Mark Riley.
yeah.
And I'm trying to eat.
Was that like a strategic thing? You're
Yes.
just like, hey, Mark, eat more.
Well, he's not part of it because
Oh.
Mark has already svelte.
That's true. That's true.
I know, you know.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, everyone's a winner. Body positivity. You hit your goal. Doesn't matter what the numbers are. It's just a number.
Correct.
It's just a number.
Now, speaking of body positivity, Thadd, we also have a new sponsor here on the Positivity Report.
I think I heard it. Did you see? I'm excited.
Perkclothing.com. Use the code GPA at checkout. Get 20% off. Working on a giveaway.
Ooh.
Okay. Ken's working on a little thumbnail for us to share. Currently, I'm wearing a long sleeve Perk shirt. Now, Thadd, feel the shirt. Is this not the most comfortable shirt you've ever felt in your life?
Ooh. I'm not acting. I'm not a good actor.
Told you.
If you've ever seen any of my acting, you know that. This is really
I know.
soft.
It's a very nice long sleeve shirt. I've also got a Henley. We're going to be shooting a couple little videos here today. Also, Thadd, these are the Perk chinos. Look at my butt in these pants. Look,
Dang
come on.
on.
Look,
That's a perky butt right there.
Come on. Look how
That's butt's got a perk.
I don't wear chinos often, but
Woo-wee.
talk about, I mean, Amanda, we just got married again. Just based solely on these chinos.
She was like, you look good. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we might have a second baby just based solely on the chinos. We're not doing that.
Don't do it just like, so why'd you go with a second kid? Well, I had these chinos.
Perk.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk. Wear some Perk.
I like that. It's a good slogan.
You like that?
I like that.
Soft. I mean, these shirts are 100% cotton. They're so good. You got your classic tees. You got your long sleeve. You got your Henleys. You got your pocket tees. And you got your chinos that, listen, I don't have a great butt. It's kind of flat. But these chinos, I got fat legs, a weird butt, and kind of, I don't know.
It's a little TMI.
Well, I'm Italian. I was built weird. We're not built, or we're built as powerful people to outrun volcanoes, right?
Yeah, how'd that work out for you?
Not great. As my dad always said, use that fat ass to rebound. Okay, but now I'm putting this slightly less fat ass, thanks to the weight loss challenge, into some sweet Perk chinos. Perkclothing.com. Hit that code GPA for 20% off. We're also working on some giveaways and such as well.
That is awesome.
Okay, let's go back to Jeopardy.
Sure.
Okay, so first of all, I'm still in the running for host because I haven't announced anybody, and
it's yours to lose at this point.
Correct. Right. Thank you, Dad. I don't know when Ken is coming on. I know they're recording his episode.
When they announced, I want to say the changeover's happening in
like a week or two,
like early November.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
I think. Sorry. It's happening in early November.
Yeah.
Because I think Mayim has to go back to filming her sitcom.
Yes.
And so Ken's taking over, and then I think they said that they're going to alternate throughout the end of the year.
Yep.
So I don't know if that means that they're looking for a full-time for beginning of 22, or if they're going to wait until the new season next fall. So we'll have to wait and see.
Now, what have you thought? Honest opinions of Mayim Bialik? Because last night I thought might have been her best performance.
I thought she's gotten to the point now. We're in the routine. It's reminiscent of when Ken hosted it for like 6 weeks in a row or whatever, where I don't think about it anymore.
Right.
And that's honestly, that's what Alex said was always his goal, was like the stars are the contestants.
Yes.
So the fact that she's kind of fallen back, I was a little worried at first. Like, she's an actress. Yeah. She's used to, like, the camera always being focused on her. But I think she's done a fine job of just kind of letting the game play and not like inserting herself in every moment.
No, and the only thing is, when she interviews the contestants, it can be a little like, hey, I'm famous. Because yesterday she's like,
oh yeah,
she had a line in there that I was like, all right. Even Amanda was like, what did she just say? So she's like, oh, so Matt, I hear you're getting recognized. And he's like, yeah, I know. Sometimes I don't know if like I know that person or if they recognize me from Jeopardy. And she goes, welcome to fame.
Oh, yeah.
And walks. And we're like, all right, Mayim.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to fame.
Then she did the blossom dance back to the desk, which was kind of like a little much.
Crazy, right?
But,
yes.
I do have to be honest. I've been fast forwarding a lot of the Jeopardy episodes to Final Jeopardy, because by the time I watch it, the Jeopardy Instagram has already announced that he's won yet another. So I'm like, I don't know. My time is precious. So I'm just kind of like, let's see the final. So I haven't seen a lot of the interview patterns the last couple of weeks. I watched I watched the first week of her. I actually watched most of the episodes that He Who Shall Not Be Named hosted.
I did too.
Because I wanted to see Matt.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to laugh when he's like, "See you tomorrow," and it was like, "No, we won't." But
boy, that was when he popped on
sign
the thing,
off.
everybody was like, "Wait, why is he still hosting?" Yeah, because it's a game show.
They filmed it 6 months ago.
And they were like, "Wait, whoopsie-daisy."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And I've been trying to get Jimmy McGuire on here, my buddy.
Oh,
on the
God,
Clue
love
crew,
him.
Who's now the stage manager.
Yeah, and Sarah.
Sarah something Foss.
Yeah, she's an
Whitcomb
assistant
Foss.
director.
Yes.
I always see her name in the credits.
Yes.
As one of the ADs.
She's great.
Ooh, alternate. Oh,
you like that. You like that Thadd
hi.
cam.
Well, welcome.
Hot Thadd cam. Go ahead,
This
Thadd.
camera brought to you by Perk Clothing. I'm not wearing Perk,
But you
but you
perky.
can use code GPA for 20% off.
Well done, Thadd. That's professional broadcaster right there.
Yeah.
Or
For a second, I thought it was going to be. Did you see the 60 Minutes deepfake segment?
No.
They did one on deepfaking. They talked to one of the guys that
Mark
does.
Fernandez?
No. They talked to the other guy that does the Tom Cruise deepfakes.
Our buddy?
No, the other one.
Okay, got
the one that's like super big on TikTok.
Yeah.
But like they had Bill Whitaker, also from Jeopardy.
Good
Bill
guest
Whitaker.
host. Sure.
He was the anchor, and in the middle of
Thad, you're hot right now.
Sorry. And in the middle of the interview, he was talking to the camera and then turned to the other angle on the head turn. So follow me. Okay. He was there, and then he turned, and then as he did it, they deep faked a younger version of him from
Bill Whitaker.
Of Bill Whitaker from like 1970 onto his face.
What do you think?
And then digitally deleted his mustache as he was talking, and it was like,
what's his name? Superman style.
Yeah. He's like, they can even remove my mustache, and then it just whoosh, went away.
Whoa.
And I was like, that's a good use of.
We've been there.
It's a good use of the deepfake.
Mm-hmm. You got to imagine Evan Ferrante's a little livid about some other guy taking his stardom
there's
on
multiple
TikTok.
there's multiple Tom Cruise impersonators, and there's multiple deepfakers of Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And
Okay. What's up with this Tom Cruise photo going around where he looks like really big? Have you seen this? Have you guys seen, everybody's like, we should be worried about Tom Cruise. They got a picture of him somewhere, and he doesn't look Tom Cruise.
I mean, we should be worried about Tom Cruise for a number of reasons, but I have not seen this photo.
Ikaika, if you can bring up the photo, just Google like Tom Cruise photo, like people are worried. I think would be the thing.
Your search history is going to be screwed.
Yeah. He's not wearing perk, I'll tell you that much. No, but okay, so my thing with all of this, well, I mean, the guest host appearing, what I've loved so much and what I love about these runs is that even if it's like a 5-day, 6-day run, is it adds that added stress. And you could see on Matt Amodio yesterday, when he was not getting the answers correct, he lost it.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell that because his performance on Friday's show was so-so.
Yeah, okay, but still dominating.
He's still dominated, but like there's been chinks in the armor. Is that the right phrase?
I think
clinks in the armor, chanks.
Well, I think
chunks. Is it chunks in the armor?
Well, here's the thing. It's a very offensive term for Asian people, but there's also a term like it's double. It has double meaning. There's a synonym.
Yeah, I think it's referring to like the holes
in the armor.
Yes.
I
don't know how.
Yeah. If someone has a chink in their armor,
Yeah.
they have a weakness that people can take advantage of.
Yeah. All right. Well, so he's proven to be human.
Correct.
As they all do over eventually. There's a breaking point with all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the game set off, the other two were really good, and I think that's what threw it off. It's like a lot of games you'll get like one strong competitor and one that's having a hard time buzzing in at all. But they were both dominating the buzzers.
Yep.
And I think the winner got all 3 dailies.
He got back-to-back dailies. He lost one, won one.
But I thought didn't he also get the one in the first round?
I think you're right.
And he got it early, and like without those dailies, Matt can't do his thing where he doubles his money and just goes leaps and bounds ahead of people.
Yeah, Ikaika Shively, you got the Tom Cruise picture. Yeah, see?
Oh,
This was from like
I mean-
Monday night. Or what's that? Maybe Saturday, Sunday?
Okay.
Well, listen, that photo of Tom Cruise on the left is from like 1993.
Yeah.
Okay. The one on the right is current Tom Cruise. It just so happens that he may, but like when he
He's
was
also like 56 or something.
yes, but he's got those rich people drugs.
Yeah.
I mean,
know
it
what I
also
mean?
could be for a role.
It could be for a role.
His
Rarely do you see Tom
his
Cruise.
space movie. He's putting on weight for his space movie.
Does he get caught in? Well, because Matt Damon lost all that weight for Martian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or did he lose it? Was it more of a?
Oh.
And this is the.
So that's digital. That's a completely digital version of Bill Whitaker.
That is.
Yes. And then if you scroll around, you can find young Bill somewhere. No, I think it's
I
earlier.
don't think in this one.
Yeah. It's
Are we gonna get?
I don't know. There's different clips.
I'll look for it.
I don't know.
But
But
well, as we know,
that was a
deep
fully fake version of Bill Whitaker. So like if they wanted Bill to host Jeopardy
They could
full
just
time,
fake him.
and he also needed to do 60 Minutes,
Yeah.
he could just send his digital avatar
Maybe
to.
we should just digitally avatar me in there.
I don't think we need two of you.
Nah, that's true.
Yeah.
Nah, that's a good call. But so what I felt bad though is like you could tell there was a point where he got like 2 in a row wrong. And he was just losing money, and he was trying
Yeah.
so hard to. And both competitors were really good on the device.
Yeah.
and that's half the game is ringing in.
Yeah, and they all and I'm sure Jimmy can explain this more. But like everything I've always read, like with you go through the online tests, and then you do the follow up tests,
4%.
and then you do a
Interviews.
practice game and an interview and all that stuff. They're all really good at the buzzer in their practice games. To get on the stage, you have to be really good at the buzzer because
Yes.
you have to get to that high level. But then when all three of them are solid, then it's a matter of one person fighting up. So I always feel bad when like someone comes in and they don't ring in once the whole
man.
game. And it's
So
like
hard.
It's like, oh, that person sucks. And it's like, no, they don't. They're up against two people that just figured out exactly how to time that buzzer. And that is so much of the gameplay.
And if you go to Jeopardy, first of all, if you've never been in front of cameras and on a stage,
Yeah. It's a whole new
it's a whole new world.
A
And they
whole
give you
new
like
world.
all of 2 minutes to practice. They
Right.
don't give you practice questions.
No.
Mostly because of the movie what they made. Was that Ray Fiennes? With
Quiz
the
show?
quiz show.
Quiz show?
Was that Ray Fiennes? That was?
Yeah. Ron
Yeah.
Howard.
Yeah. Quiz show because they
Great
were
movie.
fixing it, right? And just so everybody knows, when the host doesn't interact with the contestants at all,
No.
ever.
No, until they hit the stage.
That's it. So if you're a little starstruck by Alex Trebek or Mayim B. Alec or now Ken Jennings, or you're a little starstruck with the audience, or you don't realize like you have to get in a zone real quick
Yeah.
in order to hit those questions. And if you're not ringing in and you're getting them wrong, I mean, all of a sudden, because
Yeah.
on Friday there was a negative going into final and they just don't even get to answer Final Jeopardy. Like they're
Right.
out. And Amanda said, well, why do they do negative? Don't you think they just go to 0? I was like, no,
Yeah.
because if they're all like at 0, then there's no consequence. They can just keep ringing in
Yeah,
all they
exactly.
want.
They got to go down and then you got to go back up.
Yes.
And also they tape
5 a day?
pre-pandemic, I think they taped 5 a day.
Yeah.
I think now they've changed that. But like and all the contestants, all the potential pool of contestants sit in the audience while they tape the other shows. And you don't know when you're going to get called up. And so you have to watch people like Matt dominate,
Yes.
and you have to watch other people screw up, and it can only mess with your nerves. And then if you win a game, then you got to keep playing. So like I don't know how many, especially now that they've staggered the schedules with how many they're taping. I don't know how many other episodes Matt taped before last night's show,
Right.
or if it was the first one of the day. I'm not sure.
Or to see like he gets eliminated on like episode 2 of a 4-episode shoot, and I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa! I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
it
There's so
makes
many-
the earthquake because he's
Yeah.
second most all time in wins,
And in money.
third most all time in money.
I thought
think
he passed-
Holzhauer has. more
Oh,
than him.
right. Yeah, Holzhauer did get like 2 million.
Yeah,
or
because he
something insane.
bet crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, he has all the records of single day earnings.
Yeah.
But Ken Jennings 74 is still very much.
No, I don't think the game. I think they've changed the structure of the game so much in 20 years that I don't think anyone could ever do that again.
You don't think so?
No, I think something tells me the producers have modified the way that they write the questions and pattern it, where they just you might like Matt, like that 38 is probably as long. I feel like no one could go past 40 at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
just from an endurance standpoint. Because also I think Ken had like a summer break in there.
Yeah.
Like a hiatus over the. And
Well,
then
so did Matt, right?
And but he also had like a tournament break.
right.
Like he was on for so long that he had like stretches of time that he
I mean,
could just recharge.
they only film like 100+ episodes, 150 episodes a year.
It's something. It's
It's something like that. So if he's shooting 74 of them, he's in half of the episodes.
Yeah, yeah. I
So you
mean,
got teen tournaments, teacher tournaments, college tournaments, tournament of champions,
Right.
or so you have 4 tournaments in there that he's not a part. Yeah, I mean, Ken was running that whole thing. I mean, that was must-watch TV.
Yes.
And was that 2001?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just sitting there watching Jeopardy every night in college. Like it was appointment television.
It really was.
And this is and I will say for diehard Jeopardy fans, all of the drama behind the host and everything, this has been a nice respite. I don't want to say savior. I would say a nice respite, a nice like palate cleanser.
I'm sure the producers are very happy that it was happening
Very,
right now
yes.
because they could pivot all their marketing to
Totally.
that.
Yeah. And apparently on social media, Matt Amodio he's like, there's all kinds of Matt Amodio thirst traps.
I mean, he's a good looking dude.
He's a good looking dude.
And when you put him next to, I mean, no offense to Ken and James,
Yes.
but like, you put the three of them together. Matt's kind of chiseled.
But
He looks more like Brad Rutter does today than when Brad Rutter had his
Right.
first run.
Brad Rutter was a kind of a bigger dude with a goatee. He did the old hide my face with the goatee look.
And then he won a ton of money, and then he
Slimmed
did
down.
the GPA weight loss challenge.
Correct.
Came back
Yes.
svelte.
Senior film with the super chat. Thank you so much. You can support the show, Streamlabs, super chats, whatever you want to do. Also, you support the show with the Futility Kickstarter. The other thing is that with like so he won 38, lost on 39, correct?
Correct.
So it almost got to 40.
So close, and he over 1.5 mil.
Well, I mean, do you think he goes back to being a PhD student? Do you think he takes some time off?
I
Because
mean,
now he's kind of like mid-level Jeopardy celebrity because he's got the Tournament of Champions. He'll probably win that.
yeah. I mean, he had to take some time off to shoot the show.
Yeah.
And so, my gut tells me that he will finish. I don't know if he'll necessarily finish in the same timeline that he thought he was going to do previous to Jeopardy. But if he's gone that far for a PhD, I feel like he's not going to just throw it away.
Right.
Well,
Well, because eventually you have to.
Yeah.
There's not, I mean, James Holzhauer was a professional sports gambler. And now he's rep by CAA because he's on like other game shows.
Yeah. He's part of the chase.
Right. Yeah,
which
with
I'm not
him and the Beast.
I'm not a fan of that show.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't.
It's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't like the gimmicks on that one.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not my thing.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, he'll have another career
Sure.
after that. If he was like, if they kept saying like, and from New Haven, Connecticut, a accountant,
Right.
like
Right.
CPA and / bartender, then he probably would have left those jobs by now. But a PhD candidate, like, or
he's a
student,
career academic.
I feel like he's going to finish what he started in that world.
It's like a golf pro hustler, right? Like he can go to trivia nights and hustle if he wants to.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Salad Van Bako says, my father loves Jeopardy, and he told me that he's getting bored with it because the guy keeps winning. There's two ends of it, right? It's like Tom Brady. You can hate him all you want, and you can get bored that he always wins, whatever. It's like always Tom Brady. It's kind of like LeBron James or Michael Jordan back in the day, but you can't knock the fact that they're goats at what they do.
Yeah.
Right? Like when Tiger Woods was winning everything, it was like, oh, nobody can beat him. We'll never see it again. And having these runs on Jeopardy is so rare. It happens. I mean, Holzhauer was 2019, but before that, Ken Jennings, that was 17 years before, 18 years before.
Yeah.
So these long runs, you kind of have to just like appreciate it. I will say, I didn't like it at first, but now I do, is the what's
oh yeah, no, it took me a minute to realize. It took me a minute to figure out his gameplay style.
Yes.
And James had his like super aggressive board style,
Right.
and like the all in on all of his bets and,
Right.
and all that kind of thing. And that got and that turned off some people because
Totally.
he was very
It's a bully.
aggressive.
Yeah,
He
Jeopardy
bullied the
bully a little
board,
bit,
and
yeah.
that's how he won. Matt's much calmer,
Yeah.
but his buzzer style, I think it's genius.
Gives him more time.
And I'm sure that someone else is going to try to replicate that, but I don't know if anyone else is going to be able to do it the way that he was able to do it.
Right.
He was so consistent with that. never said who, never said any other form of a question.
Yeah.
So that he could just get that word out of the way and then think of the answer.
Do you think that's his legend? Is the what's?
Yeah. It was
Right.
really. I mean, I've never seen anyone else do it.
No.
It, like, completely threw me off at first. I was like, why is he saying what's and then a proper noun?
Right.
Like,
Right.
it didn't make any sense.
It's it's kind of it's like very millennial Gen Z, of like the what's, like what's. Do you know, instead of saying like what is or what, it's like,
yeah.
I'm not what like.
I never thought of it that
It's
way.
an
That's
AA. It's like, you know how people spell words on Instagram, like instant messenger.
okay.
It's like,
yeah.
what's
On AIM.
Yeah, on AIM. Yeah, like
Put
what's
up,
that?
put up your away message.
Yeah, WUT. Not that, but
I had never thought of it that way. I genuinely just thought of it like he knew
It's
that
very
he had
hip.
he knew that he had to get the word out of the way to make it to make the answer legal, and wanted to maximize his time.
Yeah.
Similar to how James maximizes his
Money.
his board by cherry picking all over the place. And now a lot of people are replicating that style.
Yeah.
Because that's been like that was like the holy grail of like, ooh, how do I win the most money on Jeopardy? It's like you got to cherry pick all over the place, and not because they when I first started watching the show, they'd start with a $200 question, and then they get a $400, and then they maybe they'd hop over to a different category, but like it was very, cut and dry down the board, top to bottom, and now it all bets are off, which does make it a lot harder for the hosts.
100%.
And I think that some of the guest hosts were completely thrown off
100%.
with trying to follow along with that. And
Yes.
I think Alex was pretty open about being thrown off about it when
He
it first
hated it.
started.
Yeah.
Because because he's got that paper board of everything, or
and
it's
he's
digital
going
now.
off.
And yeah.
And it's so fast that
Yeah.
you can't not. I will say the one thing that, the difference between Ken and James and Matt, if you watched it, and is it? Something Collins was the woman who won 20.
Julia
Collins.
Yeah.
Who was
She was
awesome.
really good.
She was very, very good.
She came back and did she do the round, like that tournament
She
round
did.
robin thing?
She was a captain, I think.
Yeah. She was really solid.
Very good. Is that so? Ken was just a stalwart, right? Like there weren't as many runaways. The thing with Matt is like he dominated. Like there was so many runaways.
Yeah.
Ken actually had some games in there that like he was put to the test.
Right.
Matt, of all the 38, maybe 2 did they go to Final Jeopardy where it wasn't a runaway.
Yeah,
Like,
he figured out his version of the game was he'd rack up as much money early as possible. At the end of the Jeopardy rounds,
Yeah, he would
be
always up
like
huge.
5 times over the number 2 competitor,
Right.
Because he had doubled his money on the daily double.
Yes.
And so then he could get into final, and it didn't matter if he knew the question, and he could make a big bet and lose it. Like a couple times, he would like lose like $30,000 on
Right.
Final Jeopardy because he's like, I don't care.
Right.
Like you cannot catch me. But
Ken felt like knew every answer.
Yes.
James, it felt like he was never going to get one wrong. Like he ran boards.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some time, I think I went flawless a couple times, like flawless victory.
Yeah.
Matt always seemed like he was 90% there, but he was just quicker and better than everybody
Right.
on the thing.
Yeah.
I almost felt like those 2 runs of Ken and James were more of like, here comes the cavalry, look out, they're going to run right over you. Where Matt was like in the infantry, and he was back there being like, I think I can still win. Like, I'm a sniper. I'm going to,
Yeah.
when he last night was just appointment television. It's super fun to watch when you are rooting for either someone to keep winning or someone to compete. That's the dream of the producers of Jeopardy, because as we know, when somebody beats somebody on a run like this, it doesn't, like, the winners don't last as long,
Right.
traditionally.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
We'll find out tonight.
Yes.
If it continues. The guy that won, Jonathan
Fisher.
an actor.
Yes.
He did really good. And
The woman that we was with, they both beat him.
the person in the middle, and I'm blanking on her name right now, but she was really good too. And that was
Fantastic.
actually the fun part to watch,
Yeah.
is that it wasn't like, oh, Matt just like completely fell apart in this game. Like, he just didn't know anything and just couldn't buzz in at all. Like, the two of them ganged up on him fast.
Yeah.
I don't know if they like ran into each other in the bathroom, like at the bathrooms right before taping. Like, you, me, let's take him down.
Yeah.
Like, maybe, but like it felt like they had a coordinated strategy. Like, we both need to just keep dominating this buzzer and knock him out of play.
The other thing too is that Matt was again up big after the Jeopardy round, but not as big as he's used to.
Not as big as usual. It wasn't a runaway.
Yeah, and then it was Rocky IV, right? The Russian was cut. He's not a man.
Have you
He's
ever
not a
seen
machine.
another movie? Is that like the only movie you've seen?
Thad, it's the greatest comeback in the history of sports.
I'm not saying it's a
He
bad
ended
movie.
communism.
I'm just saying, like, the number of movies
Yes.
or the number of references that just go back to Rocky IV.
Come on, he's not a machine. He's a man.
I know.
Okay, the man
It's
was
a quotable movie because there's like 10 lines of dialogue.
Yeah, it's
And then 80 minutes of montage.
the movie is just music montages.
And Living in America.
Yes, there's 5 solid music montages with
Have
about.
you seen the director's cut yet?
No, is it more montages?
No, I was just genuinely curious because I heard there was a director's cut coming out.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And they, he looked flustered. He really did
Yeah.
at points. He looked
Yeah.
very, very flustered.
Yeah.
But, Jesse Roach says, we need another woman to have a run like Julia. More women contestants in general. Jeopardy has come a long way in diversity, but it's still a lot of white men. Jesse, I think they try very, 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 very hard to get as diverse as they can.
The casting department, I think they genuinely do.
Really do. Unfortunately, it's a competition show. It's like sports.
Yeah.
You can try and diversify all you want. If you don't have the talent, they can't put you on the show.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with race or sex or creed. I think it's literally like the people that want to be on the show. It's just a lot of white guys that are applying.
Yeah, just numbers wise. But
you're right.
Going in, I knew watching the episode that Matt was going to lose. I didn't know who was going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they were playing, I genuinely thought it could have been if Jonathan hadn't gotten his final right, it would have been the woman because she doubled her money. And she was fantastic as well. When Ken lost, he was beaten by a woman.
When James lost, he was beaten by a woman.
Yeah, so it does happen.
100%.
And Julia, but I would love to see more Jeopardy stars like Julia.
100%.
I thought she made the game really interesting. I thought she played really well. It was great to see her come back for the championship tournament. I'm curious to see what they do for the tournament this year because Mayim is hosting it and it's airing in prime time.
Oh.
Like when they first announced that Mayim was going to be one of the 2 hosts with the other guy, she was tasked with ABC primetime specials, which were including the tournaments. So they were going to put like,
or they were keeping the syndication every day.
Correct. And
in
then the
order to
tournaments
keep
were going to
shooting.
move out of syndication and go to ABC, similar to like Celebrity Wheel of Fortune and Pyramid and those shows.
Yeah, like the game nights, the family
Right,
game
exactly.
Nights,
So I think it's going to be like the Tournament of Champions, Teachers Tournament,
Yeah.
those kind of things. She's hosting on ABC. I'm curious to see what the format is. I don't know if I loved the round robin tournament thing they did. It got in the weeds too much with the mechanics of that
Drafts and
game.
everything was kind of
But
tough.
maybe it'll feel different if it's on ABC and not syndicated in a half hour.
Yes.
Format. Maybe they'll be able to like stitch it together a little bit more to make it
Yeah.
a good show. Because I loved the GOAT special. Like when the GOAT thing aired
Yeah.
on ABC, like that was perfect in terms of how to make the game work for primetime. And I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the syndication, especially on like the weekends, I love watching kind of like the old ones, and I love catching old episodes on Netflix. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to see if I can go back and whatever. Nate M says, I qualified for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire some years back, but didn't get passed on because I'm too boring.
Oh,
Nate,
sorry
not too
about that,
boring.
Nate.
Seemed like a good dude.
Yeah.
No, I mean, they do need personality, but
Yeah.
also in Jeopardy, they want the weird sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
that
Personality doesn't always mean like the cool guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they need somebody that's got a little something.
Yeah. It's interesting the casting that goes on in game shows.
Yeah.
You know?
I've
tried the online test 7 times.
Yeah, I've
hard.
never gotten through it. It's
Yeah.
so like it's so hard. Like by like question 5, I'm like I'm not going to do this well. This
Right.
is not going to go well. I'm not eligible for any of the ABC shows because my
No.
wife,
Right.
which stinks because there's a couple of those game shows that they're doing right now on ABC. I would love to be on them.
Yeah.
But
They don't. A lot of times too, they don't pick people in entertainment.
well, yeah, that
Anybody
is
that's
true.
been on camera, kind of a thing.
Though I felt like I had a shot during that Jeopardy pandemic season, the very end of Alex's tenure, because they were only pulling from Southern California because they couldn't have people fly in.
Yeah.
They got to the point where they were just lying about where you were from. They're like, originally from Duluth.
Yeah.
It's like, you live in Pasadena just like everyone else in this crew. Like,
That was the hard part with the pandemic.
yeah, like
yeah.
he's a successful bartender. Like, you're a writer.
Yeah.
You're an out of work screenwriter. Like,
The hard part is that, and Amanda brought up, she's like, is Matt Amodio taking on people from outside California? I was like, sort of.
yeah, I think they this season they
opened
started
it.
flying people back like
Yeah.
in the middle. I think in
Yeah.
like the middle of the guest host run.
Yes.
I started noticing that more and more people were coming from out of state.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there was a period when they first got back on the air where everyone had to be from driving distance
Yeah.
because they couldn't. I don't know if they weren't putting people up in hotels.
They
or,
couldn't risk it.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
stuff because something happened in the world.
Totally.
I
Speaking of game shows, have you watched Squid Game?
haven't yet. Please don't spoil.
I'm not going to spoil it.
I haven't watched Squid Game. I've heard a lot of people say it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. I've liked some of the other international shows I've watched on Netflix. I'm a big Money Heist fan.
Oh yeah, we tried Money Heist, couldn't get into it right away. I think we might need to come back to that. 'Cause I still need to finish AP Bio. I started watching Why the Last Man, and now I think I'm off of it.
I watched the first 3 episodes of Why,
Yeah.
and I liked it. I just haven't gotten back into it.
Yeah.
Only Murders in the Building is
Perfect television.
perfect television.
Yes.
I've got like 2 episodes left of Ted Lasso. I binged it.
Mm-hmm.
I was starting to binge it a couple weeks back, and loved it.
Yeah,
Love the
it's
show.
fantastic.
I've got a couple episodes left. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers on the finale. I kind of know what's happening, but I also kind of called it like 6 episodes prior.
Did you?
Yeah. So
Well, you could kind of.
I mean, they're setting it up. They're
Yeah.
setting stuff up, which is
Yeah.
fine. I want to see how it ends, and I want to see where it goes. Love the show. Love the cast.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just it's so well done, and I love that so many of the cast members are also writers on the show,
Yep.
which
Yep.
I think really
That helps.
It helps define so many of their characters.
Yeah. Coach Beard, the Coach Beard bottle episode.
Oh God, it was fantastic.
Just really,
Beard
really
After
good.
Hours.
Yeah,
which
Beard
was
After
structured,
Hours.
which made me want to go back and watch After Hours, which is one of Scorsese's best never seen movies. If you've never seen it,
I don't think I've ever seen it.
it's a dark comedy starring Griffin Dunn.
Oh.
Yeah,
This Is Us.
Yeah, Uncle Nicky.
Uncle Nicky.
And it's all this madcap night in New York City where
Okay.
like everything goes wrong.
I love that.
And it's dark
So
black
every
comedy.
night that I lived in New York.
Yeah, I mean, it was made in like '85.
Okay.
and it is pitch perfect '80s, like, yeah,
Little grimy.
Yeah. Oh.
Especially New York.
yeah. It's and it's fun to see Scorsese just go all out comedy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I recommend it if you're looking for a movie to watch.
What's it called again?
After Hours. And the Beard episode was called Beard After Hours.
So it was
and there was
like
a lot
a
of
nice-
parallels, kind of like the rom-com episode had like so many call-outs to the
Yeah.
different rom-coms, which I
That
love.
was really, really well done.
And in the Christmas episode, I really liked the Christmas
Fantastic.
episode.
Not many shows can you watch in August and
Yeah.
see a Christmas episode and be like, oh, pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
The
So do you like Squid Game?
I don't know.
You haven't decided.
I get it. I get why people love it.
Mhm.
Okay. Which makes me very sad.
Because it's like it's dark, right? It's very dark.
It's on another level.
Twisted,
of dark.
violent, all that stuff.
Yes. And it makes you think like, wait, does this exist?
I mean,
Every time I watch a
might-
Korean movie like this or show, Squid Game, Parasite, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Like ill. Amanda watched the first few episodes and then she just Googled ahead to see what happened because that's what she does. That's her thing. She likes. She spoils herself.
Does she flip to the last page of the book?
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
She's like, all right. No.
Yeah.
It's like when I watched The Good Wife series finale. I was like, all right, so she's a lawyer. You got it. The thing about Squid Game that really, I want you to watch it because
it's on my list. Amanda started watching the pilot while I was in New York and was like, I'm watching Squid Game. I said, I was going to watch that with you.
Yeah.
So she stopped, and then I think we're going to restart.
it is. There's not like a happy ending.
I mean, but that's okay.
Yeah. No,
Not
no.
everything needs a happy ending.
I don't disagree with you.
And maybe there will, because it's not a limited series, is it? Like Netflix, it's Netflix. They're going to do like 20
No. The
of
director
these.
said he doesn't want to come back and do it.
So Netflix is going to pay him a ton of money and there'll be a Squid Game too.
Probably.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Adrian M says Alice in Borderland is so good. Uncle Von Doran says she's starting that. Alice in Borderland, huh? Haven't heard of this one.
I've
Is
not
this a
heard of that
Netflix
either.
Show. Here's the thing with Squid Game. There wasn't a part of the show where I was not like
It's a little icky. Were you doing
The
this?
whole-
Were you screaming?
every time.
screaming?
Thad.
I know. I mean, I'm familiar with the screaming.
There isn't. There wasn't any screaming. There was maybe a couple little like
Like a,
yelps. It was like Quiet Place 2. There was a couple yelps. But for the most part, that movie.
I have a
was
Quiet
perfect.
Place 2 story when you're done.
Okay.
Go on.
Quiet Place 2 was fantastic. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. It just, like, I watched Squid Game fast and fell asleep during parts, but just didn't rewind it because you're basically watching for the games. There are some good relationships in there, but you're watching for the games to see who gets eliminated and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Okay? But there isn't, I just felt icky the whole time. It was like if you binge watch Sons of Anarchy, you're going to feel really icky for a lot of that binge.
Did that and understand what you mean.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like a hangover. It's like a really bad hangover where you have to like hang out with people the next day out of obligation. And
Oh,
you're just
yeah.
like,
You mean marriage?
yeah, that person.
Speaking of which, how great was Mayans? This most
Awesome.
recent season.
Loved it.
It's like
Probably the most underrated show on FX right now because nobody's watching it.
no one's watching it. But season 3 is fantastic. If you
Really
if you
good.
tried it season 1, you didn't like it that much. I understand. They changed a lot of stuff.
Okay.
It evolves. Real quick about Quiet Place 2. So I'm flying to New York.
Yeah.
And a guy in front of me is watching Quiet Place 1, and I'm like, "Oh, I never saw the sequel. I should watch that." So I turn it on, watch the movie, got my headphones in. I'm on the aisle.
Okay.
My eyes are glued to the screen.
Yeah.
Glued.
It's a good movie.
And it's a good movie. And we're at a point where there's some monsters that are zipping around the screen, and I'm following them, stuff, trying not to shriek, not get too scared.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, the flight attendant comes up to me, crouches down, and in this camera, he looks at me with his mask on, and he's trying to like emote with his eyes. So I'm watching the TV, and then I look over, and he's just doing this.
Terrifying.
Terrifying. I jumped and screamed so high, I basically hit the overhead compartment. The guy next to me, who was part of the crew, just starts laughing. Everyone. I'm in the front row of the main cabin. Everyone's laughing at me, like everyone. All eyes on me. And he just looks at me and he goes, "Sorry, sir, did you hit your call button?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching a movie. I didn't hit my call button." He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he turns around and he's like, "Oh, was it you?" Like he couldn't find the guy. And I'm like,
Terrifying.
my heart was bursting out of my friggin' chest.
Yeah.
Felt like a fool.
Not gonna do it.
Good movie though. Quiet Place 2, good movie.
Highly recommended.
It wouldn't have had a jump scare had it not been for the flight attendant.
There you go.
He also was kind of like shaved head, so he kind of looked like an alien, which was not the right thing in that moment. It was like Doug Jones
taking
as a flight
shots?
attendant,
Oh, okay.
just like staring at me.
Yeah, Doug Jones. Yep.
Ugh.
We're gonna go to some videos that make me smile before I do. Peaceful Guy says I started Ted Lasso to cleanse my Squid Game palate. Yeah, that's
How would Ted Lasso do in Squid Game?
Oh man, he'd be real upset about it. He'd be like, "Come on, guys, we don't need to be killing each other. This is insane." Because
He'd have some great deep cut 80s references.
yes, yeah, it's all of them together. It's just so gory in your face. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's not many times where it's like, no, he didn't just blow his head off right into the camera.
Oh.
It's not that bad.
It's bad, Thad.
No,
Or
it's-
it's bad. Ikaika, come on.
It's just like gunshots.
a
It's not
lot
like
of
guts
gunshots.
and stuff.
Okay.
It could have been a lot more gory with how some things turn out.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
There's your De Niro bingo card.
Eh.
All right, let's do some videos to make you smile, and we can let Thad go home.
Yeah, I like that. I like both of those things.
Play your own Squid Game. You did that.
I forgot I made that. I hadn't seen that in a minute.
Thaddeus did it.
Oh.
My dog brought home a new friend.
Oh my goodness. Is
It's
that a bear?
It's a bear.
It's a baby bear.
And the puppies are playing with him.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, first of all, this could be very dangerous because if Mama Bear shows up,
It could end very poorly for all involved.
yeah. But also, that bear is adorable.
Yeah.
Baby bears are super cute.
That's one of those videos that's very sweet in TikTok length.
Yes.
And then when you go just a little bit longer, could go the
Can
wrong
we call
way.
Animal Patrol? We don't want Mama Bear showing up.
Yeah.
Because that bear probably is like, oh, look at these guys. They're my buddies.
Yeah.
Because look at the silly black lab over there. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm going to play with you.
Look at those claws.
Yeah. Look at those things.
I was driving back from getting my coffee today,
Ikaika, they will literally rip your face off.
and I saw a dog that kind of looked like Frodo,
Yeah.
a little bit bigger, sticking out of the driver's side window, hadn't gotten a haircut, and all the wind is just like blowing all the hair back, and just the happiest dog in the world. Just driving along. And I love when they're in the driver's seat with their head out the window, because then
Yeah.
it looks like they might actually be driving
I know,
the car.
right? Adorable.
I'm like, like that, like the car commercial where all the dogs are in the car, and the little dog is in the little dog's in the kid's seat.
Yep. Adorable.
Yeah,
I love pulling up next to a car.
I love dogs.
And there's a dog out there just like, and then he catches eyes with me. I catch eyes with him. He's like,
Like, what's up?
what's up? You like to party? You guys party or what?
You have food? Is there food?
All right, what's next? All right, watch this. You ready, Thadd?
Wow, that is a good guard dog.
Look at that dog.
Wow. Like, so, honey, if we build the 8-foot fence,
What?
like that'll be safe, right? Like the dogs will be fine. Like, yeah, sure. 8 should do it.
This dog is. I'd put this dog in those competitions where they
Yeah.
where they leap. Because we weren't buddies back in the day when I lived at the apartment on Flores, were we?
Is that the one over by?
The Barney's Beanery, Merrick's. Merrick's.
I was thinking the One-Eyed Jack's, or what was that place on 3rd?
Oh, the one you came with Lutz to the party, right?
Yeah.
That
Not
was
that place.
no. It was in the
Earlier apartment.
later apartment, but before the Paul and I apartment.
Yeah, no,
We had
I
a
was never
dog.
there.
We had a dog for a minute, and he was like a pit mix, but he was like a very like a small, thinner pit mix, and he could jump and get a ball off the ceiling, like an 8-foot ceiling.
Why were there balls on the ceiling?
Well, I put it to see how high he could jump
How'd you affix the ball to the ceiling?
with gum. It was a
Okay.
tennis ball.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry,
I got
there's
gum.
just there's follow-up questions to this story.
I stuck it to the ceiling, and my buddy's like, "There's no way he gets it." We started betting on it, and he just looking at it, and he starts circling. His name was Roscoe. Starts circling, and then got it.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. This dog was incredible. But then we had to. We were just rescuing him for a few weeks, and then somebody because we couldn't keep him in the apartment. He kept
a little
leaving. Like he
Foster?
was so fast. It was it was a little Foster, but I miss Roscoe. He was the best. All right, we got one more.
I haven't been to Roscoe's in a minute.
It's a pig in a sink getting a bath.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. Look at him.
Wow.
Listen, I don't know if I want to own a pig, but I want that pig.
Is that Peppa Pig?
Yeah. That is Peppa Pig.
Yeah. That pig looks very content right now.
Yeah.
Like just like people say that my kind are dirty, and yet here I am just living the life in this bathtub.
It's awesome. Anna Jenkins says, I had a Labrador that
like
could
bubbles.
clear a 6-foot fence when I was a kid. That's That's some good leaping right there.
Wow. I can barely jump over like a little speed bump.
We had a 20-pound Shih Tzu. She's laid down to eat. She wasn't jumping over anything. I'll tell you that much. She was thicker, Thad. She was a thick lady.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Positivity Report. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, it's heavy. Woo! You like that? Futility, the actual game of living. Hit that Kickstarter. We got 16 more days to go. 32,950. Let's get above 33, maybe 34 by tomorrow. Come on, we can do it. We're people. We love
You're
each
gonna
other.
hit that. What's your first stretch goal?
35.
35. Oh yeah.
We also hit the social media stretch goals as well.
Fantastic.
I started working on the cards yesterday. It's going to take a lot more work than I thought. That it's going to have to really go to a writer's cave.
I mean, I probably would have told you that if you'd asked.
Yeah. Futility, the actual game of living. Also, head on over to perkclothing.com. Use the code GPA for 20% off. If you want your butt to look this good.
Oh, that's a perky butt.
Hey,
That's a perky butt right there. Go to Perk Clothing. Use code GPA.
Thaddeus. Thank you for the support. And thank you, Chinos, for the support of my Tookus. Congratulations to Matt Amodio on 38 wins. Again, I brought that on to nerd out with Jeopardy because not many people nerd out with me on Jeopardy, so thank you, buddy.
Of course. And Matt, if you ever want to come on the show.
Would love to have you.
And get your pair of chinos.
Come on.
Apparently, he was borrowing clothes from other contestants to be on the show. So, Matt, come on the Positivity Report. We can hook you up with some perk clothing.
We got it, buddy. You look to be the same size as me, maybe a little taller. I don't know how tall he was, but
yeah, you can never tell because they put them on the boxes on the back.
Put 'em up and down.
I know.
For Ikaika Shively, the Hawaiian Hunk, Prince of the Islands, Aloha Friday, and for everybody in chat, thank you all so much for being a part of this program every single day. Tomorrow on the show, Jocelyn Davis, Lily Marston.
Oh.
Then we're also going to, right after the Positivity Report, we're doing a pre-tape of Jeopardy for Friday.
For Friday. I like that. That's smart. That's pre-planning on your
like
part.
That?
That's good producing.
I know I've got to write Jeopardy all night tonight, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
And Thursday, Sinead DeFries is back. We've got
love some Shenasty.
2 special guests coming along with Sinead as well.
Ooh.
Tune
in to find out.
Hopefully, we're going to be kicking off our Kickstarter for Shenasty perfumes.
Okay.
If you like the smell of old tires and flowers at the end of the funeral, you'll love Shenasty. If you like the smell of deodorant, but deodorant that's about to run out, mixed with like when you burn the vacuum on carpet, Shenasty.
I like it.
You like that?
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you all. Remember, you choose positivity every single day. It's an active choice. Call somebody, text them, tell them you love them. It matters. It's way easier to love than hate. Find the good. We'll see you tomorrow.